Hello, another update about Not in My Name, a movie about peace, reconciliation, love, unity. A film which is based on what's going on in Palestine, not only today, but going back to thousands of years ago, to at the time of Abraham was told by God that I give you the land of Canaan if you go there. And he, with Hagar, Sarah, Ishmael, and Isaac, traveled to from Ur to Canaan, which is the Palestine, current Palestine slash Israel state. If you know the biblical story or the historical story, even Abraham was the patriarch of the Abrahamic religions, obviously Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. And right in the beginning, there was this division. Sarah couldn't get pregnant, and she kind of like accepted that Abraham sleeping with her handmaid Hagar, and Ishmael was born. So, and then soon after, miraculously, at the very old age, Sarah becomes pregnant with Isaac. So after Abraham, the fight over whose son, Sarah's son Isaac or Ishmael's son, Hagar's son Ishmael, should take over the power, started. And then, it's been said that Hagar was thrown out of the tribe with Ishmael, and they started Ishmael started his own tribe called Quraysh, and 3,000 years later, Muhammad was born in that very tribe. Ishmael continued building Mecca, the house that Muslims worship, and Isaac started the Israelites, and or in a way his son Jacob started the Israelites, or Jacob of Israel started the Israelites all the way to Moses and Jesus, where Christianity starts. So the division started with these two women arguing or having problem about whose son should take over Abraham's place. His eldest son from the handmaid, or the younger son from Sarah. So for 5,000, the followers of these religions have been fighting each other over who has the right to own God and the land. It's not just the border of Palestine, as you've heard from some Israeli officials talking about, from wherever the Abraham walked, which is from Ur in Mesopotamia, near Persian Gulf, all the way to Egypt. The whole area is under question. Like, they say it's ours because Abraham is my forefather. Probably Christians say Jesus was from Bethlehem, and that is the Holy Land of Christians. And Muslims, first Qibla, which is where the worship is, Masjid al-Aqsa, which is the mosque which is in Jerusalem, and Jerusalem's is the first or second temple of, where the first or second temple of Jews is. King David and Solomon, it was their throne years back. So that kind of like the later stories of that came later. but if we were just going to the beginning of the time, of when God told Abraham, I'm going to give you somebody else's land, which belonged to Canaan people, and Palestinians were apparently at that time came from Crete. If I'm not mistaken, there were salesmen coming from Greece and Mediterraneans coming to that area and making Gaza their home. They were living there. I think that's years later after Abraham, though. So the name, the Palestine, I think it was given by Romans who took over the place. I mean, Assyrians took the place, Persians took the place, Babylonians, Babylonian captivity. That land has been occupied so many times, and then finally, Islamic occupation, and later Ottoman occupation, which after First World War, that Brits and then Americans won the World War One. Wasn't nothing. It was a group of countries got together. Won the World War One. They started. They obviously just during the war, 1917, they didn't have enough money to pay for the war, and that's why they, entered the deal with a Jewish banking family known as Rothschild, if I'm not mistaken, and the Balfour Agreement was signed by Balfour, Mr. Balfour, or Sir Balfour, I don't know, was the foreign ministry, if I'm not mistaken, and he signed off, if you give us this money and backing us in the war, we give you the land of Palestine, which at the time only like 5 to 7% of the occupants were Arab Jews. So they wanted the land for the Jews, and then Brits kindly signed off the land to that family, which was at the backing of the Zionist movement in Europe. I think it started in England, if I'm not mistaken. I know the Zionist movement, the Zionist movement of Christian Zionist movement started in the UK in 18th century, and then Theodor Herzl came up with the idea of a promised land, creating a land for Jews, and then at the back of it, Rothschild managed to secure this deal and the return of Israelites back to the homeland. And then, as of 1917 and 21, I think it was when another agreement was signed by all the kind of like an equivalent to United Nations. At the time, there was a group of countries signed off to give the land to Jews, but obviously they asked like not to kill or take over the lands. There was some stuff like that is written in the agreement as well. If you can just check it online, Balfour Agreement. It's very known agreement. So yeah, long story short, and ever since, Jews have been migrating to Palestine, it's been a land grab, either with force or buying through their Muslim friends, or Jews who had Muslims' names buying the lands, houses, and about Nakaba. So that's, and then 1967 kind of war. So like the movement has been very successful. Israelis, the Israelites, Jews have managed to take over the land, the majority of it, and have control on all of the land. And obviously they couldn't really control the Gazans, they were losing too many, soldiers. They had too many casualties. They just decided to just build a wall around it, and then ask the Egyptian to cut. I don't know. Egyptian decided on their own, or they entered the deal. But the Egyptians don't let them to their country. There's no trade from that side. And then from the Israeli border, they built that wall. I mean, Israeli border is quite it's questionable. Call it Israeli border, but that artificial line has been created. And now, unfortunately, that land has become a concentration camp. Something that happened to the Jews in 20th century is now happening to Arab Muslims who live in Palestinians, so-called. They're getting massacred. And that's why I'm making this film, because I just want to tell them, it's not that Jews or Zionists, you're not a different blood, you're not a different race. It's just one dispute, wasn't solved in time, has led to this division. Now you're thinking you are a different race, you are from a different family tree or whatever, and you have the right over the land, and then your Muslim cousins and your Christian cousins don't have the right over the land, it's yours. So my thing is, why borders? Why not having the entire, sharing the entire planet to ourselves? Global warming and sun and the birds, the nature, they don't have borders. Why you want to create borders for yourself? Why you want to divide yourself? Why you want to limit yourself? When you create borders, we've got all these nationalities and races and religions and a lot of divisive factors that separates people, and we forget that we all are human. I don't want to enter to that subject too much. So Not in My Name is an attempt to make people realize that the Abrahamic religions, that you are all coming from the same Father, and if you didn't deal with this problem long time ago, but now you have a choice, either you can, in the name of security, killing each other, which is creating the insecurity that's covered the whole globe, or just realizing if you don't make peace, if you don't have love in you, the conflict will carry on for another thousands of years. You have the choice. You have the choice now, individually. Every one of us have the choice to make sure there's love in us. It's my responsibility to make sure there's love in me, because without it, there will be conflict. There's peace in me. Without peace, there will be conflict. I'm not seeing myself as a chosen person. I'm aware that all humans are equal. If you believe in creation, in the eyes of the Creator, all, it's a biblical thing, God created the man on his own image. And if you're not, you're child of this universe, you belong to this universe, and these divisive factors of gender, race, religion, social class, it is all artificial. They're not real, It's one blood, it's one heart, it's one human. I'm aware this is getting really long. The story of Abrahamic, initially this story was called the Abraham's tribe. And then later the March of Abraham, which is a monarch, if I'm not mistaken, an 18th century painting by Joseph Mona, who showcases that Abraham is with his clan moving from Ur, you are, to the land of Canaan, and then the whole tribe is, the clan is together, very peaceful, and they're all holding hands and everything. So a very sweet picture. Initially, it was based on that, and then the final one, because I am not anti-Semitic. First of all, because all Arabs, Muslims, Christians, and Jews are Semitic. Semitism refers to one of the Noah's children, who was the right one, the good son, and then from his descendants, all his descendants became Semitic, Samites, and then we are all Semitic. We shouldn't kill each other in the name of being anti-Semitic or Semitic. But I am not anti-Jews. I've got a lot of Jewish friends who I love dearly. I had a Jewish girlfriend in the past, if it helps. My surrogate grandmother of my children is a Jewish lady. I'm from Mashhad, which had a huge Jewish population, and I kind of been working closely with the Jewish community for a long time. I don't have anything against Jews. And so, just to clear that, I called the film Not In My Name, which is a Jewish liberal slogan saying, I'm Jewish, but I'm against the genocide, about I'm against the killing of fellow human being in my name. So, as a Semitic person from Islamic background, I'm from Iran. I don't know, Persian, Semitic, I don't know how it works, but leave it to you to work it out. As a fellow human being, I'm declaring where I'm standing. Not in my name. Don't kill in my name. I don't see that's the solution. And I know, everybody knows, love is the solution to bringing people together, to give security, to give, if you make people scared, they're going to panic, they're going to attack, they're going to fight, they're going to kill. But if you make them feel loved, that love is going to make them feel secure. And they don't, a dog barks when it's scared, when it wants to get attacked, when it's scared. So fighting and killing and dividing, building wars and, turning one another into enemies is not giving you security. If Jews of, Israeli Jews hearing this, I would love to tell you, I love you from the bottom of my heart. You're a fellow human being. I don't see any difference between me, you, or Palestinians. We are all human. And we are fucking up the planet. We're destroying our habitat. And it's not going to know the borders. It's going to come and hit us all. Like COVID, it didn't really understand boundaries. It's our planet. We are one race, one blood. Diseases know we are one creatures. One creature. Okay. All I wanted to say was, I'm making this film about a Jewish woman and a Zionist woman who, a Palestinian woman and a Zionist woman who became aware of each other's humanity, and then they forge a new path of reconciliation. But in the beginning, obviously, they'll fight. They are belong to a family. They're connected through. This is a biblical story, recreation of the biblical story, a modern interpretation of it. We've got Abraham, who is half Palestinian, half Jew, lives in England with his Palestinian wife. They've got a couple of children. You can see the trailer, Not In My Name, the proof of concept trailer. And then his half sister, fully Zionist woman, after the October 7th attack, in the name of like security, comes and take refuge with his brother in the UK against his wife's will, stays at the, come to stay with them, and then immediately the fight starts. The Palestinian woman wants her out of the house, and then she's feeling insecure. She wants to hold on because she has her own daughter, children to look after, and then she needs the brother's support, Abraham's support, because she's going through a fight with secretly, nobody knows about it. And in the film, you will see that she's got another kind of like fight with her husband, who works in IRA and now bombing Israel in Gaza, which is another reason that the Palestinian woman doesn't want her in the house, because her husband is bombing her family. So she needs her brother's support, and she wants to stay at the house. Palestinian woman doesn't want her there, and then the deception starts. She put this mask on to get close to her to keep her ill, bedbound, so she can stay in the house. But in order to do that, she put this mask on. I care about Palestinians. We are all coming from the same roots. She just kind of like does this research and uses that research to convey to that Palestinian woman, I care about you, I love you, and I make food for you. And then through that food, the deception takes place. But that conversation opens a door for these two mothers to become aware of each other's prejudices, insecurities, wrong beliefs, and then they grow closer and closer, and then by the end they forge a new path of peace and understanding, and they help each other. And then it's a beautiful film. It's a very loving, beautiful film. I called it Not In My Name, to just say I'm not anti-Semitic. This is a human story. It's a love story in my eye. Please support this film. I don't know when you're going to watch this, maybe after the film is made. Buy it wherever it is. Buy it. Follow my Instagram page, whatever, if you're on YouTube or any platform, please follow my page. I will give you announcements about the screenings maybe near your place, and the Q&A where we can meet up in person, or if you hear it just in time that we're doing the Kickstarter fundraiser, please donate. Not donate, pre-order the film, or if you have so much money you don't know, come on board as a associate producer, chip in a few thousands. If you've got more than that, come in on board as a executive producer, and we go to all these prestigious festivals together and work on red carpet, holding hands together, and you be my boss. Please help us to spread the word, spread the love, and if you're hearing it in time, help us to make this film. Thank you so much.